Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am sharing another family home, but this time it is actually part of my budget neighborhood that I've been working on here in Willow Creek. I have shared 2 starter houses already, and those are for single sims. They have 1 bedroom, and so they're under 20,000 simoleons because that's how much you get when you start out your game with a single sim. You get a little bit more every time you add a sim to your household. I'm not exactly sure what those numbers are, but this house is under 35,000 simoleons. That's what I had the sim start out with as her budget to build the house, and I think it came out to 33,000 something. So I think it's a pretty affordable home. It is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, but there is a laundry room. So I think if you had another sim in the house and you wanted to have another kid's bedroom or something, you could probably turn the laundry room or the bathroom into another bedroom if you needed it, or have 2 kids beds in the kids bedroom, because it's a pretty good size one, I think. But as I usually do with these budget homes, I did work out the floor plan as I was building the exterior, and I don't always really like the way my exteriors come out when I do it that way. But this one, I think it turned out pretty nice. I think the biggest struggle I had with this house was the color of the exterior. I was extremely indecisive, and I think at some point I must have shut off my video recording because I couldn't find the footage of me placing the final version of the wallpaper. So you'll see me settle on this gray color for a while, which I do like, but I felt like it looked a little bit too much like the rustic starter home that I created, and I wanted it to be a little bit different and stand as its own sort of design, if that makes any sense. So I ended up going with this green color that you probably saw in the thumbnail, which I really like. I think it's nice and light and bright, and that's kind of how the whole build turned out. The interior is really light and bright, so I think that's really nice. And I don't use green that often for exteriors. I think the last time I did that was my bright suburban, is that what I called it? I think so. Hopefully that's right. But yeah, that one I thought turned out really nice. This one isn't as modern as that one. This one's a little bit more traditional, but I think it's really nice, and maybe I should use greens for exteriors more often. But anyways, so the structure is pretty much coming together. It stays pretty much just like this. I think I might get rid of this fireplace on the exterior. Can't exactly remember because it has been a while since I have built this. It's been on the gallery for like a month probably, so maybe you guys have already downloaded it. Let me know if you have. That would be kind of cool. But this was one of the builds I was supposed to share with you guys before I went on my road trip a few weeks ago. So I was planning on doing some pre-recording and sharing builds while I was away, just like scheduling them to uploading them and scheduling them to be released while I was away, and I'm just not very good at doing that, and I think I had one up while I was away. So yeah, I didn't do a very good job at that, but I'm sharing it with you guys now. I have one other one to share because I shared my spring one already. That was another one that was supposed to go up while I was away. That was my spring fling apartment. And so I have this one and then another budget build in this same neighborhood, and that one is under 45,000 simoleons, so that one has 3 bedrooms. So a little bit bigger each time we go. I think the last one I'll probably do 55,000, and that'll be on the lot that is to the right of this house if you're looking at it from the front door. But yeah, so I'll probably just kind of pepper these in as we go. I'm not sure exactly when I'll share the next budget build, just sort of sprinkling them in with my regular builds now that Seasons is released. So you will notice there's no Seasons items in this build, but I think a swing set in the back would be perfect. I feel like a swing set is much more realistic than having the monkey bars that we have in the game. I can't remember if I included monkey bars in the back of this house. I think I did, because usually I include some sort of playground item when I have kids' bedrooms, like something for them to do, but I'm really happy we have swing sets now because I feel like they're so much more realistic than having monkey bars at your house. Because I know tons of people that had swing sets, you know, when I was a kid and I'd go over to their house, swing sets, and I feel like trampolines are pretty common, not as common as swing sets, or, oh, a tire swing. How cute would tire swings be? And we got this slide for toddlers, but your older kids can't use that. I found that really disappointing. And then we have the ball pit, which I feel like is silly unless you're going to build like a pizza place or something, because that to me is the only time I really ever saw ball pits, or like fast food places. Or no, I don't even think fast food places. I can only remember a pizza place that I went to as a kid that had ball pits, so I don't feel like you put that in your backyard. And then the jungle gym that it came with, I wish it would look like a regular jungle gym with like a little tree house, and oh, tree houses would be cute. anyways, I think my whole point to that rambling story is that swing sets are nice because I feel like they're more realistic, and I feel like we need more realistic backyard items and things for kids to do. But as you probably saw just a little bit there, we did switch to the green color, so I apologize. I don't think I was had to cut anything else out of that build. Well, I mean, I didn't cut that out, I just don't have the footage. But we are on it to the interior, and it is light and bright, and I didn't go with overly super cheap items. I did have to keep them cheaper because we are on a budget, so I did go with these countertops, but they're not the ones from City Living. These are the base game countertops, so they aren't as worn and icky looking. Like, I wanted this house to look like it was a clean home. It's put together. It's just not it's not overly furnished because yeah, it's on a budget. But anyway, so I'm just laying out certain items that I know I want to be able to afford, and yeah, I think that's a good idea when you're building budget homes. I'm probably laying out too many decorations, to be honest, but I wanted to make sure I had, the bathtub, the shower, the toilet, and I laid out the kitchen items, because a lot of the other things are purely decorative. Like, a lot of the things I'm just adding in that bathroom. I think I had to get rid of a couple of those decorations, by the way, in the end. And it's a really nice open floor plan too, which I think is really playable. And that's another thing that I like about doing these floor plans while I'm building the exterior, is it makes for really playable houses. I feel like they just work a little bit better, but like I said, sometimes the exteriors don't look as nice as I think they can. And originally I was gonna go for these green swatch couches, and this would have saved us some money because I think they're the cheapest couches in the game. We might have one or two that are a little bit cheaper, but they're the base game simple couches. They're very blocky though, and I just felt like they didn't have as much detail as I really wanted, so I ended up going with the cats and dog furniture. I go with one sofa and then a chair, so they're a bit more expensive, but I felt like it just gave that detail that I was looking for. So you'll see me place those in a little bit, and I just think they look really nice. These couches, I was gonna merge it in and make a sectional, but I didn't in the end, and I think I go with the blue color. Yeah, something like that. But I do think it looks nice, and not as much green as I originally planned. I think the blue kind of cools it down and balances it out. I think having those green couches that I was originally thinking probably would have been a little bit overpowering, but I tried to keep it light and bright. And that window, you probably won't notice, and I probably shouldn't even mention it because nobody will probably notice unless I do, but I'm going to because it bothers me, and I didn't really realize it until I had already uploaded it to the gallery, I didn't even notice it while I was taking the screenshots, and then I got the screenshots into my game, and I realized that there's this window. Okay, it's by the dining table, and it's on the wall that's the closest to the backyard, and there's a window that is right up against the corner of the room, and I feel like it looks a little bit awkward with the exterior paint, so maybe you'll notice in the screenshots. So I think I would probably remove that if I was to play with the house. I probably shouldn't even mention it, like I said, but it's just something that kind of bothered me because it's a little bit unbalanced looking, and those little details sometimes can get to me. But anyways, so this is going to be the kids' bedroom, and it's a little bit pink. I tried to not overdo it. You could, of course, change the colors to suit whatever sim you want to have in this room, but I love decorating pink kids' rooms, and I've been meaning to use this wallpaper with the hearts on it ever since we got it, I think, in the update. I've tried to use it several times, but I can't think of any time that I've actually successfully used it. I think I've always tried to use the version that has the pink above the hearts instead of this kind of cream yellow color, which I think this one was a better decision because it's a little bit more toned down. So yeah, I was very happy to use that wallpaper successfully. At least I think I pulled it off. I think that room is super cute. This is the parents' room. It's okay. I feel like it's a little bit more simple. I think it looks nice in the end. There's this large wall though when you first walk into the bedroom. The left wall is very, very blank, but I do have that art easel in there, so maybe if your Sims get good at painting, you could hang a few items there to kind of fill up that wall, because I feel like it was really bare. And yeah, that's just gonna happen, I guess, with budget builds, because I couldn't afford a lot of the artwork, and that's something you really have to avoid when you're trying to save money on builds, because paintings, I feel like, are some of the most expensive items in the game. Like, a simple painting could be 200, 300, 400, simoleons, or some of them are even thousands. I think, I'm not exactly sure what the most expensive painting is, but they're really, really expensive. So I try to tried to not add a whole lot of paintings, but I felt like that wall was the only one that really bothered me and felt really sparse. But now we are on to the landscaping, and the same plants that I have been using. If you've seen my other starter houses, I use these in combination and size them up because I feel like they work really well, and they're super cheap. They're like 30 simoleons or something, so you can kind of layer them up and make the yard look a little bit overgrown. And we don't really get anything else out here, I don't think, other than that little bench. I wanted to add a barbecuer, but even the barrel barbecuer is so expensive. And then I get a computer desk here in the living room. No computer, but there's a desk. Maybe if you had another house to begin with, you could bring a computer over from that one. And yeah, just a few more items that I decorate with, and that's about it. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!